My parents refused to pay for my college. Now they expect me to fund my sister's lavish wedding. But I gave them a reality check they'll never forget. They called me a disappointment when I picked art school over business. My parents didn't just disapprove, they cut me off completely. No tuition help, no grocery money, not even a phone call to check if I was alive. I survived on scholarships and freelance gigs that paid peanuts. Ramen for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. 70-hour weeks just to cover rent and textbooks they never visited once. Never asked how I was doing. My sister Daphne got everything. Paid tuition, new car, family vacations I wasn't invited to. Fast forward 6 years. I'm doing fine now. Not rich, but my illustration work pays the bills. And my phone buzzes. Group chat invite. Daphne's dream wedding planning. I stared at the screen. After years of silence, suddenly I'm family again. 2 days later, an email arrives. Itemized wedding expenses. Venue, $35,000. Catering, $22,000. Photography, $8,500. The list goes on. Total at the bottom, $85,000. The message, we know you're doing well now. Time to step up for family. I didn't reply immediately. Instead, I started planning something else entirely. I texted back, I'd love to contribute. Let me bring something special to the engagement party. The engagement dinner was at some upscale steakhouse downtown. I walked in carrying a thick manila envelope with my contribution to Daphne written across the front. My mom practically sprinted over. There's my successful boy. Everyone, look who finally showed up. My dad clapped my shoulder like we were best friends. The backbone of this family, he announced to the table full of relatives. Daphne hugged me, her diamond ring blinding under the lights. I knew you'd come through for me. I smiled, handed her the envelope. Open it now. I want everyone to see. She tore it open, grinning at our grandparents and uncle. Then her face went white. Inside wasn't a check. It was an itemized invoice. Every expense I'd paid alone during college. Tuition receipts, rent statements, medical bills from that time I got bronchitis and couldn't afford the clinic. The final page read, outstanding balance, $127,000. Payment required before I fund a single flower. You taught me responsibility. Here's the bill. My uncle burst out laughing. Daphne screamed, "You selfish!" Mom slapped the papers off the table. "How dare you embarrass this family?" I picked up the invoice calmly, looked my dad in the eye. "You wanted a reality check? Here's your receipt." I walked out and blocked all their numbers before I hit the parking lot. 1 week later, Preston, Daphne's fiancé, sent me a message. "We need to talk, alone. It's about canceling the wedding." I met Preston at a coffee shop across town. He looked exhausted, like he hadn't slept in days. "I had no idea," he said immediately. "Your parents told me you were loaded, said you wanted to pay for the wedding as a gift." I said nothing. He pulled out his phone. After that dinner, I started digging. Found the family group chat, the one without you in it. He showed me the screenshots. Messages from my mom. "Play nice with the artist. We need his money." My dad's reply, "He owes us after all we sacrificed." My stomach turned. "They told me your art career was just a hobby," Preston continued. "That you had a trust fund. I believed them until I saw your face at that dinner." He scrolled further. Stopped on something. His jaw tightened. "There's more. I found loan documents in your dad's office last night when I went to drop off Daphne's stuff." He turned the screen toward me. "My name, my social security number, a $40,000 student loan I never applied for. They took it out 3 years ago," Preston said quietly, "for Daphne's grad school." My hands went cold. Identity theft, fraud. This just became criminal. I pulled my credit report that night. There it was. $40,000 in my name. Payments coming out of an account I'd never opened. My lawyer confirmed it the next morning. Textbook identity theft. I had 2 choices. Press charges or let it go. I chose option 3. I compiled everything. The invoice, the loan documents Preston sent, screenshots of the family group chat, every email where they'd ignored my calls for help. Then I sent it to the extended family group chat. Grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, everyone. Subject line, "Why I won't be attending any more family events." My phone exploded within an hour. My grandmother called my parents immediately. My uncle threatened to drive over there himself. Preston texted me 2 days later. "Wedding's off. I can't marry into this." My parents tried damage control, but the family wasn't buying it. They repaid the loan to avoid me filing charges. My lawyer made sure of that. Last I heard, Daphne's working retail and living with our parents. Preston moved to another state. Me? I just signed a contract with a major publishing house for a graphic novel. They wanted me to grow up and get real. I did, without them.